Hey everybody, I'm here with Vince Cahill, one of my favorite people. Actually, the first person I ever videotaped for any event ever, and we did a how to tie a bow tie demo, which we will do again, a redo. But first, a couple of days ago I passed by and you were doing a presentation on the Internet of Things. Can you elaborate a little bit about that and how it applies to this show?
Well, the internet has become a huge phenomenon. It is a way in which people are communicating, it's a way in which people are making things and then selling them. We are now at a point where Amazon is doing more business than Walmart. Retail is changing. Retail is becoming internet. But also, people are making things. People are 3D printing. People are printing electronics and sensors and other things. And I spoke on that here at SGIA. I also spoke on the fact that a lot of 3D printing has been hype, but we're moving from the hype beyond the novelty of it, beyond even the prototype, and moving to actual short run and soon long run production of objects. What's also happening though is that there's a democratization of production, of makers. We're in this maker revolution which is joining with the Internet of Things. So at this point, airlines are beginning to, when they have a part they have to replace, when there's a part on the space shuttle that has to be replaced, it's made in place. And this is an exciting time. It's also a time when people are taking their designs, their scans of objects, and publishing them, putting them on the internet. So there is this great opportunity that the internet offers to a broad range of people to communicate, but also to communicate information that helps people replicate and also helps them to create. So that's part of why I'm here, part of what we've been talking about here. I've been here with my colleague, Dr. Dean Taylor, who is an expert in chemistry, who also knows about coatings and inks, and frankly, one of the most important things in this new technology is the material that's being deposited, whether it's conductive ink, whether it is inks that are more robust and can do more of a job than, let's say, just standard printing ink. So that's part of why we're here.
It's fantastic. You're always so interesting. I'm just like mesmerized by everything you're saying. I've seen you walking the show floor quite a bit. Anything catching your eye as far as trends, areas that people should be looking into?
Well, people are pushing the limits. One of the things that I did mention was the chemistry.
Yes.
We're seeing that more and more companies are doing very innovative things with chemistry. There is something that came out a few years ago, about a year to 2 years ago, by HP, which was their latex ink, their third generation. Their third generation solved a problem. They brought in something called an optimizer that created a very receptive surface for the ink. It was essentially oppositely charged, so that when the ink descended to the surface, you instantly had a bond, a coalescence, because the charge on the pigment was different from the charge on the coating. And that is being printed in line, so you have a very convenient, easy and effective solution without having to coat a whole surface. It's just coating precisely where you need to coat. Well, that's just one example. Have been a lot of improvements in chemistry. Almost all of the chemical companies that manufacture inks are manufacturing new types of inks. We see from Sun Chemical Sunjet, and also at Durst, we're seeing UV Cure water miscible inks. And those inks create prints that have have a lot of the feel and intensity of even offset litho inks, except they're even more intense.
Right.
They're even brighter.
And there's some popping displays at this place.
There are some wonderful popping displays. Now I also will be writing an article on flexible signage, soft signage. Throughout this show, soft signage has grown greatly. It is just exploding.
Right.
And
I've been referring to it as direct to fabric printing.
And it is direct to fabric. After I leave here, I'm going to be traveling to Italy to look at some of the new developments that are going to be shown at ITMA in Milan, and I'll be writing on those. But the direct to fabric also needs finishing.
Right.
And the finishing, to some extent, is there are solutions, but I am looking for companies to come together with packages. And I'll be writing on this for Signs of the Times, and that'll appear in the beginning of the year.
Wonderful. And before we get to the bow tie, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, they can contact me at Vince, V-I-N-C-E, at vcesolutions.com. So that's Vince at vcesolutions.com.
And that's your website too, VC?
VC Solutions is my website. We're constantly trying to keep it updated. That can be difficult. There are reports and articles on that site that people can download.
Wonderful.
And more coming.
Fantastic, and you're always an interesting guy. But now let's get to the real thing here. Let's talk about the bow ties, and then let's have our lesson.
Well, here's a bow tie that actually my sister made, and her company is called Moe's Bows Ties.
Moe's Bows Ties?
Yes. My sister's name is Maureen, and
Moe's
Maureen's
Bows Tie
nickname is Moe. So Moe's is making ties, and she has a variety of fabrics. She is just developing this, but I came to Atlanta and stayed with my sister, who lives in the Atlanta area, and she hands me these ties, and she knows I like bow ties and wear bow ties. So here I am with one of Moe's Bows ties.
I love it.
But I'm going to show you, first of all, they're so easy to carry. Here is now a four-in-hand tie, a long tie. It takes up a lot of territory. This fits right in your pocket. The other thing, the reason I wear bow ties in part is that I would go to luncheons and they would serve spaghetti, and I must confess, I'm a bit Slavic at times. And centrifugal forces would send the spaghetti sauce onto my long tie.
Right.
And they'd be silk ties. I'd have to have them dry cleaned. It got to be an expensive proposition. So, however, if I get spaghetti on my shirt, that I can throw in the washing machine.
Or you can get a long tie and cover it.
Or get a long tie and cover it. But here, with the bow tie, this is generally out of the range of
spillage.
Fire.
Okay.
So here we go. So I'm going to show you. They're easy to take off.
Wow.
Bingo.
Brave man.
And you just go like this, and you're done. But now I just want to show you. You have it. When you put this tie on, you put it around your neck. and here I have an Oxford, so I have to button down the collar. I won't do that right now. You can
Okay,
see
yeah,
that.
we see it.
But on one side, the one that I'm going to be wrapping around, I have slightly longer, maybe about a finger's width on the.
Right, we got it.
Okay, and then you take the tie and you put the long side over, and you pull this through. Okay, and then you might tighten that a little bit. Then you take this side, and you're going to take this, and so you in effect create.
Right.
And now this bow tie is shaped. Some are not shaped, but you go
Right,
like
it
you
fits perfectly in.
and you put your finger there.
Okay.
That's an essential part.
That's the secret.
That's the secret. Then you take this side and you then come around and you find where your finger is and you pull the other through.
Amazing.
And voila. Now what happens here is that the double loop is behind on one side and the double loop is in front on the other. You tighten it up. And how do I look?
Incredible. I can't believe you did it without a mirror, without anything. You've been fantastic, as always.
Well, this is a way in which all you're doing really is tying a bow. It's very similar to what you would do on a package. And the more people who wear bow ties, the more gifts to the world there are.
This is true. Thank you so much for your time. I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Deborah.
it. See you soon, hopefully.
Take care.
Good luck in Italy. Ciao.
Ciao.